Thanks for tuning in to this week's news recap. Ooki DAO's serving sparks controversy. Apart from the topics we discussed with Kristen, there were other developments around Ooki DAO this week. A federal court ruled that it was legal for the CFTC to serve Ooki DAO through a website HelpBot. However, the crypto group DeFi Education Fund argued that the CFTC should properly serve Ooki DAO's actual members, not just the DAO at large. Additionally, the LexPunk Army, a community of Web3 lawyers and developers, filed a motion for amicus status in the case. They wrote, "If our motion is granted, our amicus brief will aim to educate the court on DAO's purposes, nature of coordination mechanisms, and to help craft fairer methods of serving legal notice to DAO participants." Kwons Passport could be invalidated. On Wednesday night, the South Korean government gave Terra founder Do Kwon notice that his passport was in danger of being voided, according to a notice published on the government website. The South Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced that Kwon will have 14 days to return his passport before it is canceled. The notice also warned that if he refuses to give it back, he likely would not be able to obtain another passport, which would make it very hard for him to leave the country or, since he isn't currently there, travel. Additionally, the Korean founder denied a media report from a Korean news outlet, News One, that prosecutors have frozen almost $40 million worth of his crypto assets. Kwon wrote on Twitter, "I don't know whose funds they've frozen, but good for them. Hope they use it for good." He also insinuated that his case is being used for political gain, in accordance with the Terraform Labs spokesperson who said the case was highly politicized. Kwon said, "It's no surprise that crypto is most popular in countries that weaponize state institutions against their own people for political gain." In a Twitter exchange I had with Kwon, he shared insights on some hot topics. He said he knows the legal risks of his tweets, and he also stated that the reason he hasn't returned to Korea yet doesn't necessarily have to do with the fact that the charges are violations of the Capital Markets Act, as Zach Guzman had implied on a recent episode of Unchained. When I asked him why he hadn't returned to Korea, Kwon suggested he would provide an answer in an interview for an upcoming episode of Unchained. Meanwhile, Korean prosecutors made the first arrest in the Terra case, though a court immediately dismissed it. According to a report from Korean news outlet JTBC, the Seoul Southern District Prosecutor's Office arrested a person with the surname Yu, the first name was not revealed, head of general business operations at Terraform Labs, for allegedly violating Korea's Capital Markets Act. The office also requested a bench warrant for Yu, which would give prosecutors the ability to keep Yu detained during trial. However, hours after the arrest, it was reported that a South Korean court dismissed the arrest warrant for Yu. At this time, a week after South Korea said Interpol issued a red notice for Kwon, and despite his active arrest warrant, his whereabouts are still unknown. Celsius executives withdrew $17 million before the collapse. Former Celsius CEO Alex Mashinsky and former Chief Strategy Officer Daniel Leon withdrew $17 million in crypto assets from the company weeks before it froze client withdrawals and declared bankruptcy. The Financial Times had previously reported Mashinsky's withdrawal of $10 million. This week, Leon announced he would step down as CSO only a week after Mashinsky's resignation. Amid its bankruptcy proceedings, Celsius has set a timeline for the auction of its assets, according to a court filing. The company will have a final bid deadline of October 17th, with an auction on the 20th. Sam Bankman-Fried is reportedly considering bidding for Celsius's assets, following FTX's acquisition of Voyager's assets last month. Additionally, Martin Glenn, the judge overseeing the bankruptcy case, appointed an independent examiner to produce a report on the company's financials. Meanwhile, Celsius Mining claimed that hosting provider Core Scientific violated bankruptcy terms because it allegedly failed to deploy mining machines on time and try to pass on power charges against their agreement. Elon Musk to buy Twitter again. According to recent filings, Elon Musk, the richest person on Earth, has offered to move forward with the deal to buy Twitter for $44 billion, the originally agreed-upon price. Twitter is where everything happens in crypto, so a change in the social media giant's ownership could have implications for the industry. In fact, text messages between Musk and Twitter founder Jack Dorsey revealed that Musk is interested in building a blockchain-based social media platform in which users would have to pay to register messages on the chain. According to Musk, this would cut out the majority of spam and bots. Ether gets a blue-chip institutional vehicle. Fidelity Investments, one of the world's largest asset managers with $4.5 trillion in assets under management, launched the Ethereum Index Fund to give its clients exposure to Ether. Since its first sale last month, the fund has already raised $5 million, according to a filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Fidelity already had a fund offering with exposure to Bitcoin. A Fidelity spokesperson told CoinDesk, as the marketplace for digital assets grows, Fidelity recognizes the need for a diverse set of products. We have continued to see client demand for exposure to digital assets beyond Bitcoin. Fidelity has been showing an increasing interest in crypto lately. Last month, news broke that the investment giant was planning to offer BTC trading to millions of retail customers on its platform, though that news has not yet been confirmed. Also, the company announced a partnership with Citadel Securities, Charles Schwab, and others to launch a crypto exchange called EDX Markets. Meanwhile, as traditional finance gets deeper into crypto, early DeFi protocol Makerdale has decided to invest $500 million into treasuries and bonds. The goal is to diversify Makerdale's balance sheet and generate more revenue, according to a statement issued by the DAO. Tornado Cash developer Alexey Pertsev to remain in jail. Arrested Tornado Cash developer Alexey Pertsev will have to stay in jail after his appeal was rejected by a judge in the Netherlands. Pertsev was arrested 2 days after the U.S. Treasury Office of Foreign Assets Control sanctioned crypto mixing service Tornado Cash. He was arrested for allegedly facilitating money laundering through the platform. As per the judge, Pertsev will have to remain in custody for at least 6 more weeks. Ksenia Malik, Pertsev's wife, told the blog that the ruling was absolutely not fair and that there is absolute lawlessness going on here. She went on to say that Dutch authorities are afraid that Alex will return to Russia, although if he returns there, he will be sent to war. Russia invaded Ukraine in February. Is crypto a threat or not? The Financial Stability Oversight Council, chaired by Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, claimed crypto could threaten the stability of the financial system. In a report issued in response to President Biden's executive order to investigate crypto assets, a risk panel wrote, "The financial stability risks of crypto assets would be substantial if those vulnerabilities were to remain in place, while the scale of crypto asset activities and interconnectedness with the traditional financial system were to grow rapidly." Yellen added, "Innovation without adequate regulation can result in significant disruptions and harm to the financial system and to individuals." The report seems to contradict Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, who said last month that DeFi doesn't pose risks to financial stability. This week, crypto analytics company Elliptic released a report stating that crypto has been used to launder $4 billion since 2020. Furthermore, TRM Labs reported that pro-Russia paramilitary groups have raised $400,000 in crypto. Solana goes offline. The Solana blockchain suffered yet another outage last weekend that left the network inoperative for several hours due to a node misconfiguration. The culprit was a rare consensus bug, explained Joe McCann, founder of crypto fund Asymmetric. As validators couldn't reach a consensus on the state of the network, the Solana team decided to stop transactions to fix the issue. According to the Solana status website, the outage lasted 6 hours and 19 minutes, but there were some who claimed that the server was down for a longer period of time. Anatoly Yakovenko, founder of Solana, tweeted, "It's a sad state for the industry when even on days that Schoolami is down, it's still handling more transactions from dApps than all the EVM chains and their rollups and L2s combined." This is the third time that the Solana blockchain has gone offline this year, and this outage comes 1 year after the 18-hour outage suffered in September 2021. Speaking of outages, on Sunday, crypto exchange Coinbase, famous for creating an easy on- and off-ramp into the fiat system, was temporarily unable to process payments and withdrawals from US-based banks due to an issue with the ACH system. Time for fun bits. Can't steal Mr. Beast's BTC. Popular YouTuber Jimmy Donaldson, also known as Mr. Beast, is not the best at crypto security, but he got very lucky. In an interview on the Andrew Schultz podcast, Mr. Beast told a story about how he almost lost $2 million in Bitcoin when someone broke into his house and stole his laptop, which had a Post-it note on it that said Bitcoin private keys, along with the actual keys. However, the criminal did not seem to notice and didn't steal the crypto of the YouTuber who managed to transfer these Bitcoins to a new wallet and called the robber a fucking moron. Thanks so much for joining us today. To learn more about Kristen, the Blockchain Association, and all these crypto regulatory issues, check out the show notes for this episode. Unchained is produced by me, Laura Shin, with help from Anthony Yoon, Matt Pilchard, Juan Ivanovich, Pam Majumdar, Shashank, and CLK Transcription. Thanks for listening.